Ninja pizza? Well, what do you know?
Rock, dudes. Do you realize what this is?
The crucial piece of evidence we were looking for?
The clue which will lead us to the heart of the evil ninja empire?
No, even better. It's a place where we can get some pizza. Right on!
Okay, I'll head up there and check it out.
No, April. It's too dangerous. You wouldn't last 5 minutes in a ninja pizza parlor. I love saying lines like that.
We better go with you, April.
That's right. And besides, we're hungry!
Hello folks, TFG and Mike here. Before we get into the Pullbag Back Issue Classics, episode 55, after Joe Reed and I recorded this episode talking about the Leatherhead arc, issues 56 to 58 of the IDW TMNT ongoing, after we did this, we got an email the day this episode was to go live, which was Wednesday, May 18th, 2016. It is from Marcos from NJ. Hi, I only recently discovered the Pullbag podcast in iTunes and just wanted to give you a giant and resounding thank you for covering and showing a great amount of enthusiasm over IDW's TMNT comics. I'm a huge fan myself, but other podcasts never seem to mention this series, let alone how stellar it is. I'm old school, so Mirage Studios is my go-to, but love what IDW has been doing with the series. Thanks for giving coverage to DC's Motu series as well. It's another overlooked comic in my opinion. So thank you so much, Marcos from NJ. Alright folks, now you're going to hear Joe and I talk about the full-on debut of Leatherhead in the IDW TMNT comic.
April?
What?
We're here.
Oh.
Ninja dry cleaners?
Ninja shoe repairs?
Ninja video rentals?
Ninja dentist? Ow!
I can't put my finger on it, but there's something suspicious about this neighborhood. Hi-ya! Hey, come on! I'm starving, guys!
Don't you guys think about anything but pizza?
Not unless we have to.
Welcome to Ninja Pizza, home of the nice slice.
Hello and welcome to the Pullbag. This is Back Issue Classics, episode 55. I am one of your hosts, TFG and Mike. Ladies and gentlemen, we've got a lot of Back Issue Classics coming up. We've got Turtles, He-Man, Batman Beyond, I Hate Fairyland, Lumberjanes Volume. We've got so much in the Back Issue Classic stuff. So this episode 55, we are finally returning to Turtles. We did not get a chance to do this while Joe was in town for BotCon 2016 because issue 58 wasn't out yet. But issues 56 to 58 of the IDW TMNT main ongoing is the three-part Leatherhead arc. This is the first time we really get introduced to Leatherhead. We've seen him before because he did pretty much save Donatello's life in issue 50. But joining me, as always, for Turtles is Joe Reed. Hello, sir.
Hello.
And are you ready for Gator time?
I'm ready for Gator time. I've never eaten alligator, but when I was last down in Florida, I saw it on the menu. Next time, I will try some gator.
No gator, no turtle soup, no Usagi Yojimbo.
Can't go to turtle soup. Might try rabbit someday. I hear it's oily. It's not my thing. But...
Ew. I had a rabbit as a pet as a kid. I'd never be able to eat Bugs Bunny.
Oh, that would make it hard. I will no longer eat rabbit in honor of you and your rabbit pet. I also had a crocodile pet, so don't eat that either.
Wow, that's no. Northeastern, no. Massachusetts, no. We don't have to worry about alligators. So now if you want to feed a clock to a croc, you can give Captain Hook a call.
Hey, sweet. Yeah, there weren't any Peter Pan jokes in this that I recall.
No, no. Hook's afraid of an old dead croc. All right, so the creative team, as always, story by Kevin Eastman, Bobby Curnow, and Tom Waltz. Script written by Tom Waltz. Art by Mateus Santaluco. Colors by Rhonda Pattison. Still trying to get Rhonda on for an interview. Letters by Sean Lee. Bobby's the editor. All that good stuff. The story so far. The Turtles thwarted Krang's plans to use the Technodrome to terraform the Earth. However, Burnow Island was terraformed, and now the sleeping Utrom race has a chance to survive. The Turtles prepare to meet their ally, the Fugitoid, in the Technodrome. Dun, dun, dun. So this one starts out on Burnow Island. And we see, I don't even know, like I can't even tell off of this. I assume it's the Utroms, this opening scene of, how are we going to survive? Like, it doesn't
say. It's a mystery as to who these guys are talking, trying to survive, trying to get off the island, trying to do whatever they can. We're not meant to know who they are at this point. We find out later.
Yeah.
But they are having a hard time breathing. It's like that movie trope. If you see somebody coughing in the first act, they're going to have, like, I don't know, chest cancer in the third act. So this is kind of what's going on here.
So I got to bring this up because we talked about this when we did the non-spoiler version for issue 55. Bobby did tell me in an email, or he told me somewhere, somehow, that issue 55 was meant to be a one-shot, kind of one standalone story.
Mm-hmm.
And we thought at the time when we were doing that, because when we did the last episode for Turtles, we did issues 53 and 54, which had already been out a while, and 55 had just come out at the time we recorded that. So we tried to do that one spoiler-free for the most part.
Uh-huh.
So at the end of that, Leo, Raph, and Donnie show up to the lair because Mikey's fixing up the lair. Mikey went back to the old sewer lair, the old church lair, wherever the hell. One of the lairs. So, and the end of that issue is the other brothers showing up and having a good time with Mikey and celebrating. And now here we are in issue 56. They're all back together again.
There you go. I just pulled 55 out of my bin. That's what all the noise was.
Okay. So my question is, if 55 is meant to be a standalone story, why the hell are they all still together now in 56?
I think the end of 55 was getting them all together so they could have this story, because I think at the end of this arc they're getting set to split back up. Because Mikey still doesn't want to go back to the clan.
Yeah, okay.
But, plot things happen. And maybe
I'm not complaining. I'm just questioning. That's all I'm doing, folks. I'm not complaining at all. Just questioning.
I guess what he meant by it's a standalone thing is that it's setting up a lot of things that are coming. So it's the toss the baseball up in the air so that issues 56, 57 through 60 can knock it out of the park.
Mm-hmm. Yep. All right, so we go to the Turtles. They're in Harold's lab, and Harold says, "Nice of you to finally get here, Donatello. My cable guy gives me a more accurate arrival window." Wait, you got a cable guy?
That's a Comcast joke.
That's a Comcast, Time Warner, Charter, any cable company you could ever think of. So Mikey notices that Harold is working on a 2.0 version of Metalhead. Check it out, Donnie. It's you before you blew yourself up and became all you again. Don't touch that. So they are... what are they doing? Harold is working on the cloaks apparently still. And because the Burnout Island is terraformed, he gives them oxygen. It's kind of like, hey, turtles in space, but they're not in space.
Getting the breathing apparatus and...
Yep.
Forgot why they said they needed to teleport out there. They were going to help Fugitoid do something. That's right.
Yeah, they were going to help Fugitoid take care of the Utroms. And one of my favorite things here is Harold. He says, "But I'll leave it to our interdimensional robot friend to fill you in on the details. Let's just say that it's bound to tickle those tiny little reptilian brains of yours." What did he mean by that? No idea. All I know is that's one creepy dude. Speaking of one creepy dude, Rat King.
We flash to the Rat King, who's talking to his sister in the Foot Clan headquarters while Kitsune is kind of on house arrest there.
Yep. And we see that obviously he's uninvited, and he does reference Casey and April, the 4-issue miniseries. They have a conversation.
His plans are moving.
Yes, and apparently their other sister, the one we met in Casey and April, apparently she's neutral as ever. So Rat King and Kitsune are on the same page, and apparently their other sibling is not. And what I love about Rat King here is, yes, well, I needed something to amuse myself in that infernal desert. Reminds me of a really, really old, bad joke that I will not say on air. I will tell you later. But it's a little as much as this show is explicit, it's a little too explicit for a joke for being on air.
A little too rough. Sorry.
Yeah. Oh, God. Wait, was that was
the second movie.
That was the second movie, that's right.
Where they're sneaking under the foot compound. It's a little quiet. Yeah, too quiet. It's a little, hey, it's Raph. Yeah, a little too Raph.
Too Raph.
Because they say like three things, and I can't remember. It's dark, a little too dark, a little, I don't remember. Yeah. I can't, I'm afraid to sit down and watch part 2 because I know it's not going to be as good as I remember. But I know that Oliver, my son, will just freak out and think it's the greatest thing ever. So eventually we'll get to that.
Well, we already... When did 2 come out? Was it 91?
I don't remember.
Okay, so what do you think of the whole Rat King Kitsune exchange here?
I get nervous with these guys because they're so powerful. It's like you can't defeat them with ninjutsu because they're like spirits. They're on a different plane. So I get worried when they're around and that something's going to happen major and they're going to wreck everything. Which, it's part of the fun of it, but, I'm invested enough to be creeped out by what they have going on. Kitsune is just gonna, she's plotting and planning, and she's gonna wreck stuff. I think, based on what we've read, before issue 60, I think, everything's gonna go to town.
Yeah. Okay, so, was it last year? Yeah, it was last year. We did the 25th anniversary of the original film. Mm-hmm. 2 did come out in 91. We got to do another commentary.
Oh, boy.
25 years since Secret of the Ooze. All right, back to the comic here. So we've got Rat King and Kitsune making all kinds of plans and all that. We go to Splinter and... Janika, the one that almost killed him earlier, that he basically disciplined. So they have a interesting scene that references stuff that happened in issue 52. And then he basically gives her probably what she feels is the highest honor. He gives her the most critical guard duty to protect the tomb of your former master, the Shredder.
Okay, there's a seed planted right here. Besides just her having some important thing. When we get to it, I'll ask if you caught the reference, and we'll figure out what seed may have just been planted.
Okay. So we get the Turtles and the Fugitoid and the Utroms who are in stasis. And they want to slowly bring them out of stasis. This is not a good idea, people.
Generally, the Utroms are not bad critters. They just have some maniacal warlords, and you kind of got to be choosy about who you're going to revive. Don't revive anybody with the name Chirel, or any of Krang's relatives.
Oh, have you seen the 2012 series season 4 crossover?
Yes, the giant crossover issue where they bring Krang from the old animated series into continuity with the current Krang.
And they bring in the old Turtles as well. Yep. And the fact that the Krang from the 87 series is a cousin to Gilbert Gottfried's. It's like, oh god, it's so hilarious. So we get the Turtles. We get Honeycutt here. I know you would agree this is the right thing to do. I've been preparing the stasis tubes for the revival process and everything is ready to go, except for the other reason I asked you to the island today. Hello. And they all have a shocked look on their face. My name is Leatherhead.
That's this 8-foot tall, 10 foot tall crocodile. Alligator? He's a gator. Yep.
He's a gator. Look at his snout. He's a gator.
Yep. Not pointy. Steve Irwin taught me that.
Yeah. We're in trouble.
And now it's these. We're back to the cave with those coughing folks. Kill or be killed, they say, as they put their fire out.
Is it Bebop and Rocksteady?
Nope. Do you want me to tell you, or do you want to be surprised when we get there?
Oh, no, I know who it is now. I know who it is now.
Good.
I remember now. Don't look at me. That's all I can think of. When they first find him in the old cartoon series. Ah, my lord, what has happened to your body?
I don't remember that.
You will.
Okay.
I'll show it to you later. You'll remember it when I say who I think this is, because I'm pretty sure this is who I think it is. Okay, so we get more of Leatherhead, and we get Donnie thanking him for saving his life. And what I love about these two panels here after Leatherhead says, "You make it all sound so dramatic, Professor. I just found myself in the right place at the right time. It could have happened to anyone." And then you get the next two panels of the four turtles. One where Donnie says thank you, and then you got him in the foreground, Leo in the background, and then you got Mikey in the foreground and Raph in the background. Dude, I am so lost. At least now we know what Harold's reptile crack was all about. Oh, God.
So Leatherhead gives his backstory, which takes us all the way back to Turtles in Time. With the crocodile alligator swimming around in the cove, and the pirate ship that the turtles were on. They dumped the mutagen overboard. The pirates got rid of it, and the crocodile was swimming through it. Alligator, good gosh, man,
it's a gator.
I know, it's totally a gator, and it's always been a gator all the way back to the strange Louisiana accent, Leatherhead from the animated series.
Yep.
But yes, gator. And so yes, he gets mutated and spends some time.
I gotta say, not only the colors, but when they get to a point where he's telling the story, as I'm sure you've already surmised, the mutagen transformed me into the creature I am now. A self-aware reptilian humanoid with newfound knowledge. The colors on these few panels and the art, Mateus and Rhonda are killing it. If you look at the design of Leatherhead as he's naked coming up out of the thing, out of the swamp, that's just amazing on the art. I love that.
And it does the cool thing that the Turtles comics have always done, well, the IDW Turtles comics, whenever it's a flashback, the line work gets different. It changes.
Different, yeah.
I don't know how to describe it. It looks softer to me, hazier. And the coloring.
Well,
I mean, the colors bring it down
yeah.
too. The colors are more muted and subdued. They don't pop as much, which is it's a beautiful way to handle it.
I would say that, like, if you go back and you look at the panel where Leatherhead says, "It's not surprising that you are all confused by my presence." You look at him here, and you look at the colors, and I don't want to say it's sepia tone or it's some sort of weird, not off color, but it's just like browns and just different colors. And then when you go to the flashback, they change the skyline, they change the water, they show that the mutagen, like the panel where it says that would forever change my life, where it shows him just coming up out of the thing. You see the different greens in the colors. Like the water has turned green, but you also see the brighter, oozier green of the mutagen. So, yeah, I absolutely love the color change and the art change in that.
The present day stuff on Burnow Island is all very warm. Even the headbands on the turtles and their flesh tones are tinted a little warmer than they usually are. But that flashback is definitely tinted blue-green.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
Rhonda, be on our show. We want to talk to you.
Yes, that's right. We want to talk to you.
At this point, I have more to ask her than I have to ask Kevin Eastman. That's because I've asked at a con once. But still, her work has been phenomenal.
Yes, it has. I mean, she's done such a great job with this series. So we get to Leonardo asking Professor for a word in private, and they're discussing basically discussing Leatherhead because they're kind of apprehensive about this guy.
And I don't know what has given them the indication that they should be apprehensive about it. I maybe missed something. Is it just because he has big scary teeth that they're all getting nervous? Because at this point, there's nothing in his story that says we should worry about him. He helped bring Donatello back to life. I think they're just, I don't know, strangely paranoid. That is kind of weird.
Well, I mean, they've been burned so many times.
And they might just be further concerned because they're reviving the Utroms who have all been kind of...
Yeah, that's pretty much...
The one Utrom they knew was a dirtbag, so they've racially profiled all the rest of them.
The rest of them, yeah.
Speciesist. Profiled. How would you say that?
The only thing I can think of is when we get to the panel where they're looking at the computer console of all the ones ready. All I can think of is the scene in Turtles 2 when Donnie's going through the computer. Dispose. This one says active.
The name. So they're in the room with the Utroms. They're all hooked up to the machines, kind of hanging in green mutagen containers from the ceiling, and Donnie's going through the screen, and they've got the names that say "ready to be revived," ready, and Donatello's pointing at one, says, "Why is this one on hold?" And Fugitoid says his reawakening will have to wait until I'm able to first discuss it with some of his fellow Utroms. The name is Chirel. Do you know who Chirel is?
Isn't that Shredder?
That's Utrom Shredder from the 4Kids TV series.
Yeah.
And there's somebody guarding Shredder's body back at the Foot Clan headquarters. So I think that's the seed they've planted there.
Ooh.
I think Shredder's coming back at some point, and it's not going to be the Shredder.
It's not going to be the Shredder that we know from this continuity. It's going to be an homage. Yeah, that would be pretty cool. Huh. And
this is the beautiful thing about IDW, is that they've knitted every continuity together, and it's like this concert playing, and they're dancing all of these things together. It's an incredible editing job on Bobby, and definitely the writing of it all as well, trying to get it all without stepping on the toes of anything. They've just done such a wonderful job bringing all that together. And that little seed there, Chirel on hold, is a gift to us nerds that tuned in for that old series.
Yep.
The oft overlooked 4Kids TV series.
Yeah, it's actually a pretty good series.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the reason why, and you may be right, as far as the homage and as far as bringing Shredder back eventually as Chirel, because I know. I think the reason why that's there is because Tom loves the 4Kids series, the 2003 series. So, yeah, we might be seeing Utrom Shredder in the future at some point.
Yeah, and Chirel was not the most recent crossover event, but the one that the 4Kids TV did. Chirel
Turtles
came
Forever.
back, came back in that one and was the one that wanted to wreck the world.
Yep. The revitalization is kind of ugly. The art's nice, but look at the panel. Yes, revitalization and fusion is progressing nicely. You look at this poor Utrom, and it looks like a version of Slimer or something, because of all the ooze and the electrics and all that. And so we've got the revival of the Utroms. And this is something that could or could not be a good thing, because they just don't know how that's going to go. We've got Leatherhead saying basically, we'll help you ensure our new friends are as comfortable as possible when they awaken. And we go to 3 hours later. The Fugitoid goes to check on them. Goes to check on Marel and Lishon. And there's a shadow behind him. That's not good, folks.
As he enters the chambers to two of the Utroms in their little sleeping pods, he sees that they've been smashed and smeared and are dead. Completely decimated. And as Honeycutt turns around, "You, Splank!" and his head is gone. And then the shadow walks off. And at this point, we are led to believe that it was those two shadow people from the tunnel earlier.
Oh, no.
From the cave.
Yeah, maybe, but I can kind of figure it out by the shadow where the to be continued in the decapitated professor is.
Well, the shadow's wearing pants. There's that pants wrinkle behind the knee.
Yep.
Oh, well, everybody we know so far has been wearing pants, except for the turtles.
Yeah. So the cool thing about this is we get images in the back of the book of Santaluco's design for Leatherhead, various versions of it.
Oh my gosh, there's a picture of him wearing the Crocodile Dundee hat.
Yep.
Huh, lovely and beautifully drawn.
Yes. That's not a knife. This is
a knife.
Oh, I love that movie. All right, so Leatherhead's introduction, first issue, part 1 of Leatherhead. What did you think?
Exciting, building up, growing tenser. Beautifully illustrated, beautifully colored.
Yep, absolutely. With issue 57, we get another great cover done by Mateus Santaluco of Leatherhead and 2 of the Turtles, I believe.
That's Leo and Raph.
Leo and Raph, okay, yeah. Walking through the sewers. And we get the story so far.
We should clarify and say that's the sewers of Burnout Island.
Island.
They're futuristic looking series.
Yep.
I missed the Art Appreciation Month cover on this.
Did you?
I should go track that down.
You still got to track down that Nirvana cover.
I do, but I'm not paying $50 for it. I love the. You know what? I will spend half that much and buy a print directly from the artist. I didn't message the guy's DeviantArt page yet.
All right, so issue 57, the Utrom race has been revived in the confines of the recently terraformed Burnout Island. A mutant from the island, Leatherhead, seeks asylum. Complicating matters, someone has mysteriously killed several Utroms and destroyed the turtle's ally, Fugitoid. Same creative team. We get an opening shot of the... This is almost like a combination of the original opening title of the 87 cartoon plus the Technodrome.
Oh, nice. The clouds over the moon.
The moon, yep. The other thing is I've been very slowly, I'm like 4 or 5 episodes into season 2 of the 87 series again. And I forgot how red Dimension X is in there. It's all red, so it's like, hey, this is a giant homage to Dimension X.
Tinting everything warm.
It's absolutely awesome. So we've got dead Utroms, we've got a decapitated Fugitoid, and we've got the Utroms basically saying, this is unacceptable. And Mikey apparently just woke up.
Oh, poor Mikey. Here's another emotional scar. What? Something? Ah! Oh, he's about to barf in his helmet. Barf in the breathing mask. Yeah. Don't barf, dude. Steady. Deep breaths.
Get a grip, Mikey. Mikey, unless you want to barf into your breathing gizmo. Oh, man. So we see Leatherhead here. We see the Utroms as well. And the Utroms say there's a way to reassemble your fragmented machine or fallen comrade. However, poor whatever the Utrom's name is.
Lorca. When you put Q's without U's, that gets me confused.
Counselor Lorca. Okay, I thought it was... I didn't realize it was a title at the time. All right. And Donnie goes off on them. He's not a machine. He's the one that brought you out of stasis. And somebody, one of the Utroms asks, "And where is General Krang?" Oh boy.
Well, he's a war criminal. That's interesting. They did not bring them out of stasis, I think, in the order that they should have, or as upfront as they should have. Like, look, guys, we want to do you a favor. You can live here on this island and do sciencey stuff, but no, you're... Poor guys.
Yep. So Leo introduces his brothers and Leatherhead. And the Utroms, what do we think of them now? So we got a chief science advisor and technical specialists and lieutenant as well. So we got science, technology, and military.
Yeah. The military guys are the ones who are kind of a little angry and a little more upset. They're not willing to listen to evidence. They both have tentacles crossed.
It's kind of funny.
Oh my gosh, they remind me of Boglins. Do you remember the Boglins, the toys, the rubber puppets?
Yep. Oh boy, yeah. And poor Fugitoid, he was ahead of his time. Alright, so let's see, what do we got here? The Utroms basically say, "You have our gratitude, but before you go, what of our comrade who remained confined? It is wrong for us to keep them oblivious to what has happened, don't you think?" Well, even though it's probably best for your people to stay hunkered down in their rooms, this isn't a prison, and there's something to be said about safety in numbers. Your call. Yep. So we get Leo and Raph walking with Leatherhead. This is kind of where the cover for the issue comes from, which is interesting.
Yeah.
And we then see a red laser. Oh no.
Who did
What's
that?
Cobra doing here? It is...
Oh, it's one of those giant mousers.
Yeah, it's a giant mouser. Like, I was not expecting a giant mouser. Leatherhead basically takes care of the thing.
Single-handedly.
Single-handedly and pretty much destroys it. Yes, well, shall we continue? Remind me to never challenge that guy to a wrestling match.
Mariel is helping Donatello get Professor Honeycutt back online.
Yep. And it's a shocking, shocking conclusion. It works!
There's that scene from Empire Strikes Back where Chewie turns on 3PO. Oh, no, shoot. And what? Stormtroopers? Here.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, no, please don't get up. And then... Yeah. Yes. Anyway, sorry, flashback. So he's not quite operational yet. They got power to him, and he's not talking. But he is present, Mariel says, at least for the time being, according to these life force readings. He's there.
Yep. He's there. He's not all there, but he's there. So let's see. We go to them asking, let's see, we have the robot situation taken care of. It's time to turn our attention to our releasing the Utrom still locked up. And why hasn't exactly Colonel Chirel been awakened? Wow, yeah, that's Shredder. You look at that, yeah, that's going to be
He is evil, isn't he?
Mm-hmm. Now, what I'm wondering is if if they use the Chirel and they make a Shredder, because we were all wondering with the whole reincarnated Shredder thing before he died, way back when in issue 37 when he first met Krang, whether they were going to get along.
Uh-huh.
I'm wondering if they turn Chirel into Shredder again, are we going to have a different... If Krang ever gets out of exile or Dimension X or wherever the hell he is, are we going to have a different relationship between Shredder and Krang if they make Chirel Shredder? So that's going to be interesting to see how that happens.
That's a good point. That maybe we will have a team up.
So Leatherhead, let's see, what's Leatherhead doing? Leatherhead is going to... We are nearing the end, my friends. Not much farther now. Are you sure? We've come pretty far already, and this water is only getting deeper. It is.
Yes, it is.
And
this is where I knew Leatherhead was up to no good.
Mm-hmm. Leo asks him, harm? What kind of harm? The kind that leads to death, or worse. What's worse than death? I don't think there's anything worse than death. So we come to see that we have, let's see here, where is he? We got Leatherhead. Instinctually, I did all in my power to survive. First, Veronica seemed logically, I comprehended my pursuer's desire to see me contained. Mother Nature has her laws after all, and monstrosities should never be allowed to exist within her perfect plan. I think it's time to go in a different direction now, Leatherhead. Further, and we'll be in over our heads.
It's too late for that. Which is
Mute.
perfect.
Uh-huh. And we find out it's Trag and Granitor.
The two guys that couldn't breathe because it's been terraformed and they're not used to it.
Yep. I love how they introduced these guys. This is great. I love it. I love seeing, seeing the rock soldiers.
Mm-hmm.
And generally, from what I've known, and maybe it's the colors of the underground situation, and I don't know if we're going to see these guys in regular, like a laboratory or something like that. Because generally, from what I've known Trag to be, he's brown rock or beige rock or whatever, and Granitor is the one that's
bluish gray.
Gray rock. So I'm wondering if we get these guys out of their, their underground thing here, if they're going to show those colors or they're going to do something different.
I'd like them both to be a little more iconic, unique to the old series, but I don't care.
I mean, if you look at the panel where they say Utroms and Fugitoid, what? Who cares? Like, I like their designs. I mean, I don't want the art to be solely homaging the old series. I just want the colors to homage the old series.
Yeah, there's definitely a difference in the way that they're colored. One's lighter and browner, the other is grayer and, well, I don't want to say bluer, but grayer definitely. And it's because of the tinted air there on Island, the way everything's warmer. But as soon as the Stone Soldiers show up, Leatherhead freaks out, monsters, and dives into the water and does that scary crocodile thing that they do where they just kind of disappear in a foot and a half of water, and the rock soldiers attack because the turtles are the only folks that are left now that they see, and they're wearing the breathers.
And they want the breathers. Yeah. And one of them says, "You seriously think you can stop us with these stone soldiers, remember?"
As he grabs Leonardo's katana with no problem.
Yeah, and the other one basically reverse headbutts Raph. Crack. Stand clear, Granitor. Okay, so yeah, the orangish one is Trag, and the other one is Granitor. Okay. Very cool.
Yeah, the only one whose name I remember from the old series was Trag. Granitor, I don't remember the name, but Granitor was the one that came out as an action figure, but he was only called Stone Soldier.
Yeah. He's the one, if you remember Hot Rodding Teenagers from Dimension X, it was one of the 5-part episodes where Trag ended up in the Technodrome on Earth, found General Krang because the neutrinos escaped from Dimension X. And it was him and Granitor. Granitor was the silverish gray guy that said, "The neutrinos have escaped. The neutrinos have eluded us." They use that. He uses that kind of voice. I'll show you later. You'll remember. I was like, I think it was crying, neutrinos running loose here on Earth.
Google image search saves the day.
Yeah. And so we have, so as the issue ends here, we have Sergeant Renner telling the truth. We've been down here for weeks now, barely surviving. When the air got too bad, we tried to get back to the surface, but we were too weak. When we saw your air tanks, we thought maybe if you didn't kill the Utroms, then who did? And we see Leatherhead. Well, it appears I have another admission to make. Issue 57 rocks. I really wish they would have shown, like they did in issue in 56 at the back with Leatherhead's. I wish they would have shown us the Mateus's designs for Trag and Granitor, because that would have been awesome if they would have done that. Issue 57 is damn good.
We get a twist.
Yep.
I gotta go digital with this issue because I lost the copy that I bought. No, I didn't. It's still at the comic store. That's right. I didn't lose it. That makes me feel better.
We're going to take a quick break, folks, so Joe can get his together, and then you'll hear some Trag and Granitor from Hot Rodding Teenagers from Dimension X. We'll be back with issue 58 after this.
Those kids must be around here somewhere.
Trag!
They couldn't have just vanished. Oh, sorry, Lord. Lord Krang!
Don't look at me!
My lord, what has happened to your body?
It's a long story. I lost it when they banished me to this miserable mud bowl.
Those three youths just blasted their way right out of my technodrome.
The neutrinos have eluded us! Neutrinos? Running loose here on Earth? Sucker, you imbecile!
What did I do? Who are these neutrinos?
A gang of juvenile delinquents from Dimension X. They're a threat to everything we stand for.
They hate war.
They refuse to join any army. And what's worse, they encourage people to have fun.
TFG and Mike here from the Geekcast Radio Network, and today, folks, I want to talk to you about Morton's PC Repair and Service. Does your PC feel like it's a piece of dead or dying garage equipment? If you're in and around the Louisville, Kentucky area and your PC needs help, call Morton's PC Repair and Service. They have the lowest prices in town, payment plans available, fast, reliable service with custom builds, virus removal, reformats, upgrades, and just about anything else your PC needs. You can reach them at 502-294-3359 or find them on Facebook. As someone who recently partook of their services, I can safely say they are the best in the PC repair business. So check out Morton's PC Repair and Service.
We brought the entire convention center to the brink of an intergenre geek war.
Okay, Michael, if we're going to tackle this podcast thing, we've got to do something really special. It has to be cool, daily, in audio form, and undetectable by radar. Something that screams summer. I know, let's do a Phineas and Ferb review podcast. We'll call it the Podcast Organization Without a Cool Acronym, or POWCA for short. What do you think?
I think if we're not careful, Candace is going to bust us.
You can find POWCA on the Geekcast Radio Network, iTunes, Blog Talk Radio, and all of the other methods you find podcasts.
We'll give you the whole seat, but you'll only need the edge.
All right, folks, we're back to talk about issue 58. This is Leatherhead Part 3. This is the conclusion to the Leatherhead arc. The main cover is Leatherhead in the shadows with the Utroms just ready to shit their brains out.
Another beautifully drawn cover and beautifully colored cover.
Yeah.
I wonder if I don't know for sure if Santaluco's doing the colors on this. They look ever so slightly more painted than the comic pages on the inside, so it leads me to believe it's all his thing, all his work. But for all I know, it could definitely be a combination of the two.
Well, if you look at, because folks, we're doing this off the IDW review copy. If you look at the cover checklist, regular cover art by Mateus Santaluco, it does not say colors are separate. So
and she didn't sign it, so it's probably all him, which is amazing.
Yes, absolutely. So we've got 4 covers for this issue. Now, you might be asking us, well, Mike and Joe, why didn't you go over the cover checklist for the other ones? Well, because in the digital copy, for some odd reason, Comixology or IDW does not show me the cover checklist.
My book here shows 5 covers.
Yeah, well, yeah, it's 5.
Well, 1 plus the 4. I gotcha.
Yeah. So we got the story so far. The turtles endure the toxic environment of the Technodrome to find out who has killed several Utroms and disabled their friend, the Fugitoid. Suddenly, signs start pointing to a new mutant who has been nothing but helpful so far, Leatherhead. You know, we have a store here in town. You'll probably have to go visit it at some point next time you guys come back.
Uh-huh.
It's actually called Leatherhead. It's a leather... So like a biker leather kind of store. I'm like, wow. So hilarious. So the covers, we've got retail incentive cover done by Paolo Villanelli. We got the subscription cover done by Kevin Eastman. We got the Anastasia Collectibles exclusive by Alex Coten, colors by Willem Moss. And we've got Kevin's Eastman Fan Club Edition as well. These three issues, I love the 56, 57, 58. I love Mateus's stuff. Yep. It just paints such a great picture. All right, so we open this one up with the Utroms yelling at Donatello, guilty of war crimes.
Says one of the Utroms, on whose account? Donnie says, no, that's what Professor Honeycutt told us before he got his head knocked off, that he was guilty of war crimes. Yep. The military Utroms are irritated because he's a war hero. We should be waking him up. But you can kind of see it in Marielle's eyes that she doesn't exactly agree, and she's kind of inclined to side with the turtles on this one.
No waking the Shredder up. No waking the Shredder up. So they are going to be listening to the turtles, and they basically make them a proposition that they can live here on Burnow Island instead, so they have a place to live and survive without being persecuted by anybody else. And
I don't know, I just wouldn't trust those military guys to not get ambitious while they're sitting there. The scientists, I could think like, they'll sit there, they'll build a teleporter, they'll go back home and go do sciencey stuff. The military people are going to be like, let's conquer, because they were in the military either under Krang or under his dad, and so it seems like they're going to want to do bad things there.
So we get to a page where you got two new Utroms that we're introduced to that are coming in, and they basically confused Michelangelo from one of the warrior lizards. No, jerk. Michelangelo is helping us. Who's Michelangelo? Me, you slimy jerk.
Missed opportunity to say, hey, you slimed me. Or some other direct quote from the Ghostbusters movie.
So we get, obviously, more references to Turtles in Time. And we see Leatherhead again. This warrior lizard is bigger.
I think they're talking about the dinosaurs.
Yeah, that's true. So this is where we get Leatherhead's true origin story. Not before we realize what he actually did to Fugitoid and what he also did to Raph and Leo, which was not exactly a very Leatherhead kind of thing to do. What do we think of the characterization, because this is unlike any Leatherhead we've ever experienced.
Well, the crazy thing, I mean, all of our first experience with Leatherhead was probably the animated series where he was the Cajun talking gator bad guy. The original comic, Leatherhead's a good guy. He kind of freaks out every once in a while, but generally he's an ally. And so when we come to this and he's saved Donatello and he's wanting to help with the Utroms, we kind of think, okay, great, they're going to play him as kind of the good guy. Like they do in the Nick series. He freaks out every once in a while. But now that we know he's a douchebag and capable of this misdirection, it's a new spin. I mean, he's not wholly a villain, but at the same time, he's got his own motivations, and it's F everybody else until I get my job done. At this point, I'm kind of wondering why he's playing it the way he did. I mean, if he really disliked the Utroms, then why not, hey, there's Honeycutt, smash his head off, and then smash them all out of the tanks, before the turtles even get there. So that's a question that I have that I don't know if they've answered yet as to why he didn't just do it earlier, why he wanted to wake him up first.
Yeah.
Because he doesn't like the Utrom. Are we to that point yet where he...
Yeah, we get to a point where General Krang kept him locked up, and we see an evil General Krang. We see some awesome art of Leatherhead in this flashback, and it says basically that...
Here we are.
Turns out the General wanted to take over Earth with an army of smart mutants, and old Leatherhead was his first recruit. Got a lot of special attention for a long time. As a result, if things were going good for Krang, things went good for the mutant too. Once again, love the flashback art.
Mm-hmm. Look at the panel where he's getting cattle prodded is beautiful.
Mm-hmm. Just yikes. So we come back into the present where Leatherhead says, it's when that stinking flea... Oh. So on the previous page, at the bottom of the previous page, we've got Leo and Raph and Mikey and
Trag and Granitor.
Trag and Granitor, because they're helping him. At the bottom of it, Raph says, and if there's one thing I can't stand more than Hob, it's when that Fleabag is right.
They're saying he's right about the mutants getting mistreated, which is something that Hobbs kind of a thing about.
Yep. And we see that Leatherhead is like, I know the feeling all too well of not belonging, of being an outsider, an abomination. I am fully aware a thing like me should not exist. I have no place on this earth, not as I am now. And neither do you, though unlike me, your kind has purposefully made yourselves strangers in a strange land, deliberately upsetting a natural balance that must be reestablished. Yes, well, perhaps we can start by making ourselves more welcome by helping you with your wounds.
Oh, this?
I never said this is my blood. And we get Donnie being a badass with his new staff. Wow. I love this page. This page is awesome. Nice Donnie versus drawings. Leatherhead. That's great. Oh, so cool.
Yeah, it's that's a great illustration.
Yeah, it really, really is. So let's see. We get to the Utroms. Quickly, you three, go! And they are trying to subdue Leatherhead and somebody. Who does that? I can't see who does it. Is it all four of them? No, it's probably, it is all four of them. They've got
the cattle prods back.
The cattle prods. So they shocked the shit out of Leatherhead. Yep.
Yeah, stop Leatherhead. We know what Krang did to you. This doesn't have to get ugly. Ugly? This turned ugly centuries ago. And he busts out of there, dragging Donnie, I think.
Yeah. All I can think of when they said this doesn't have to get ugly, all I can think of is homely and ugly double dragon.
I don't get that reference, I'm sorry to say.
The really, really bad Double Dragon movie from the 90s with Alyssa Milano.
Alyssa Milano was in that? Oh my god.
Yep.
I maybe saw that once as a kid.
Played Miriam, the character of Miriam, but basically Billy and Jimmy, they always call each other homely and ugly.
Huh.
Anyway. Yeah. Zoom! So we get, is it Mikey or Raph? One of them eventually pulls off Leatherhead's mask and he can no longer breathe. I can't wait till we get off Burnow Island. I'm sorry. I'm so sick of the terraforming. I think the Technodrome looks great, but I can't wait for this to be over and them to get back to the actual city. So let's see here. We got Donnie basically saying, he saved my life. And they're basically going to go with Leatherhead so they can save Mikey's life. And we bring Leatherhead to New York City. And I'm still gotta get my wish. We don't have any more terraforming at this point.
Back to regular colors.
Yep, back to regular colors.
I scrolled through that whole big fight scene. Beautiful fight scene, everybody. You should go get that issue.
Yeah, no, the fight scene is great, but there's not a lot of stuff that we can say about the fight scene. So Leatherhead is like so many colors, so many smells, so many whatever. And he basically vows, "We are not done, turtles, I swear." Welcome to the big city. So we get the final page here where they go back to the Foot headquarters. And the doors open. Uh-oh. And we run into Kitsune, Alopex, and the Foot Clan.
And an unconscious Splinter.
Yep, not good at all.
The timing of them just getting back in time to see this splash page is just a little too convenient for me. Like, I don't know how long they were gone there, but things are not going well.
Well, we did see in issue 57 the whole thing with her and Rat King, and we saw the whole thing with Splinter and Jenica. So, I mean, they were kind of setting it up. And we need something to give, because with the Leatherhead arc at this point kind of semi-resolved, since he swims off into the night, we need something to tease us for the next issue.
And it needed to have happened while the Turtles were gone.
Right, yeah. Overall, 58, Leatherhead Part 3, absolutely interesting. I was not expecting the origin twist with him basically being tortured by General Krang and all. Like, I wasn't really expecting that.
I was thinking they were going to return him to his roots and make him an ally instead of a bad guy.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
It doesn't look like he's going to be completely unreasonable, though, which, this could go any way the next time they meet. Depends on if the Turtles did something that
nice.
sees him off.
Leaving the characterization somewhat ambiguous is nice, because we don't know. It just depends. I think with Leatherhead, he's somewhat like an old Hob, but he's not as black and white as Hob is. Which is kind of nice, since he sees that the turtle, he helped them save Donatello, and he can't be all bad. Sure, he had a bad past, but he's not fully evil.
He's not irredeemable. Just a little misguided as far as those Krang are concerned.
Yeah. Alright, so let's see. So we get the letters, we get the ninja notes. where Bobby basically says, where he says something about I don't know, he says something. What does he say here? He says, the closing for the Ninja Notes. There's a lot of other Turtles goodness for you to enjoy while you wait to see what happens next. Check out TMNT Amazing Adventures number 10, featuring Napoleon Bonafrog, TMNT Carmelo Anthony special. Holy heck, one of the biggest NBA All-Stars is meeting the TMNT. And the conclusion of the biggest crossover of the year in Batman TMNT number 6. Read all that, and then you can come back and check out the amazing work of our next artist, Dave Wachter, in TMNT issue 59. Yes, we are spoiling you. So that's it for issue 58, the Leatherhead arc. Overall, I think this was a great 3 issues.
Mm-hmm.
So cool.
Lots of good stuff happens.
Yup. Any other thoughts on the overall arc?
Just 3. I think it's 3 of the best covers we've ever had. The only cover that I think I like more than this is the Alopex and Nobody cover while they're running down the street. That's honestly the highlight for this whole run for me.
Yep. All right, folks, we're going to take a quick break. We're going to come back with TMNT solicitations after this.
No use skedaddling, frogs. You don't be escaping from old Leatherhead.
Faster, fellas! He's right on our tail! But that's impossible. We lost them things when we was itty-bitty tadpoles. It's just a figure of speech, Genghis. Why are you stopping, Napoleon? There comes a time when you gotta stop running. But why'd you have to pick this time? 'Cause a frog's gotta do what a frog's gotta do.
You frogs be plenty pitiful.
All right, folks, we are back, and we're going to talk to you about next month's solicitations, June solicitations, and July's for TMNT. In June, we've got 5 Wednesdays, which means we get 5 issues of the miniseries Bebop and Rocksteady Destroy Everything. Now, I did say, we did do this last episode, we did talk about this, but I just want to refresh everyone's memory. Ben Bates, Dustin Weaver are on writing, Ben Bates is on art, Nick Pitara on colors, or covers. After their defeat in TMNT 50, the dull-witted Bebop and Rocksteady, everyone's favorite Warthog and Rhino mutants, are feeling dejected and without purpose. However, when they stumble across a time travel scepter, they realize the craziest, most destructive adventure awaits. Will the universe survive?
Oh, I do see Renette in the background of that first cover.
Yep. So, bullet points for issue 1. We've got everyone's favorite Numbskull Mutants of Mayhem get their first miniseries, the most ambitious TMNT event yet. Every week in June sees a new issue, Crazier Than the Last, written by Dustin Weaver of Infinity Gauntlet and Ben Bates, TMNT, with rotating roster of amazing artists including Sophie Campbell, Giannis, I can't even pronounce that, Nick Pitara, and Ryan Brown. Bebop and Rocksteady in the upcoming movie Out of the Shadows. A limited variant cover by Kevin Eastman for issue number 1. The cover with Renette is really, really cool. I think out of all the Destroy Everything covers, out of the 4 that we have seen, I think the coolest one is issue number 2. Because we got Raph and the return of Pepperoni. Absolutely love that. So, issue number 2 for Bebop and Rocksteady Destroy Everything, in case you guys don't remember. Bebop and Rocksteady travel to the past and meet their former selves. What could go wrong? Plus dinosaurs. Issue number 3. Chaos spreads in the next stop on Bebop and Rocksteady's itinerary is Stockgen, when Teenage Ninja Turtles were just regular baby turtles. So they're really going back to the beginning of the ongoing here. Issue number 4. Let's see. After a fight, Bebop and Rocksteady split up and travel separately to different time periods, the Dark Ages, World War I, and the future. No time period is safe. Number 5, time has been irreparably damaged and the fabric of reality is torn apart. Only a trip to visit the Time Lords in the 79th dimension holds any hope. But is time traveler Renette still alive? Are the Turtles? Is anyone? Also coming in June is issue 59 of the ongoing The Turtles Return to New York City. Thinking that the worst is finally behind them, little do they know that the ultimate danger lurks within their very headquarters. Obviously, Tom, Kevin, and Bobby on writing, and this is the premiere of Dave Wachter as the artist on the title. Bullet points for this one. A long, simmering plot kicks into high gear, and there's a variant cover by artist Michael Walsh as well. I'm trying to see if there's anything else interesting. Villains collection, Shadows of the Past game. The Shadows of the Past game spotlight. Okay. Miniatures combat scenario-driven campaign game that features story content from the IDW TMNT comic, taking the role of their favorite turtle or the ultimate villain. Shredder players battle their way through a series of 60 to 90 minute missions in which they develop their characters' strengths, fighting styles, and equipment along the way to create a lasting story arc. Fan-favorite characters like Casey Jones and Alopex appear throughout the missions as the Turtles call on their closest allies for help in battling the deadliest foes. Designed by premier game designer Kevin Wilson, Descent, Arkham Horror, and featuring more than 40 scripted miniatures, 12 unique maps, and over 100 cards featuring all new original artwork. TMNT Shadows of the Past is a definitive gaming experience.
I kickstarted that, and will be very excited to run that game for my local comic shop a couple times, and I'll report back if with stuff.
With stuff?
Yes.
With stuff. All right, so in July...
Peas grow there.
Yes, peas grow there.
That's an obscure reference, man.
That's well, it is an obscure Orson Welles reference, but it also was done by the brain in Animaniacs. So
did he do that on the show?
Yeah.
Oh man, I thought that was a Maurice LaMarche thing.
No, he's homaging Orson Welles.
The where I saw that was on the bonus features to Comic Book the Movie, where Maurice and it's kind of said there and that at that point that it's something that he did to warm up and usually did it into the microphone, and he goes off and starts using profanity because Orson Welles, the impression that he's doing, continues to go more and more south.
I'll have to find the episode, and I'll point it out to you. All right, awesome. So the July 2016 solicitations, we have something new actually. TMNT, the Kevin Eastman Notebook series, Raphael.
Oh.
TMNT co-creator Kevin Eastman has been making comics for 30 years, and across 3 decades, he's amassed mountains of developmental character sketches, script notes, page roughs, and even alternate pages. Along the way, he's created one-of-a-kind notebooks filled with the detritus of his process. Entirely unique collections exploring the inner workings of his creative methods, but now these unattainable treasures are ready for fans far and wide, tirelessly reproduced from the original notebooks and curated by the foremost TMNT authority in the world. Hardcover, full color, $40, 48 pages.
Shoot.
It'll be out. Yep. Bullet points, one of the more unique TMNT books ever published. All right, issue number 60 in July. Tom Waltz, Kevin Eastman, Bobby Curnow, Dave Wachter on art. The Foot Clan headquarters is under attack and no one is safe. Brother turns against brother. Bullet points for issue 60. The Foot Under Siege, variant cover by Damian Cusero. So that's what's coming up in July and June as well. It's a great time to be a TMNT fan, folks. It really, really is.
It's a horrible time to be broke.
Maybe you should teach at summer school?
I'm not entirely broke. I just don't like spending money. Time to go back to BioLife and save a life with my plasma.
Wow. I think we just learned a little bit too much about Joe, folks.
What? I like my nerd money comes from my plasma. I bought my PS4 with plasma.
Ew. Okay. All right. So yeah, we got TMNT, Bebop, and Rocksteady. We also have coming up, I believe it's in August. You're going to get a chance, folks, probably to have us doing more TMNT stuff than normal, because I believe it's in August they're launching a second ongoing TMNT universe, which is basically allowing them to throw in all the other characters that we don't get enough of. So
if Waltz is writing that as well, my gosh, that man must not sleep.
I'll have to yeah, I don't, well, you know, Bobby's the one that normally doesn't sleep. I mean,
yeah, I don't know how anybody sleeps. Rhonda colors every book at IDW under the sun, and Waltz edits Ghostbusters and writes Turtles. Bobby does 2 or 3 books.
Everything on the editing aspect. Yeah, I mean, all right. I'm trying to find the press release for the universe stuff.
We're awesome! Bodacious! Yeah! Good shit! Yeah! Gnarly! Radical! Yeah! Totally tubular, dude! Wicked! Delicious! Mega!
I have always liked Cowabunga.
Huh? Cowabunga!
I made a funny.
All right, folks, as I said, IDW to publish second TMNT ongoing. The press release came out earlier last month. Let's see. The creative team for the first arc will include writer Paul Allor, Tet, G.I. Joe, joined by artist Damian Cusero, Sons of Anarchy, and the story centered around the dangerous new Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles foe, the U.S. government. A backup story will run alongside it from TMNT co-creator Kevin Eastman and comics legend Bill Sienkiewicz. Freddie E. Williams II, fresh off the best-selling Batman TMNT crossover miniseries with DC Comics, will supply regular cover art with guest artists providing sought-after variants. So we pretty much get a lot more Paul Allor. Paul Allor wrote TMNT Turtles in Time. New spin-off sets itself apart from the ongoing TMNT series by spotlighting characters and storylines that are pivotal to the vast IDW TMNT universe, while also showcasing fan-favorite creators alongside emerging talent. The story of IDW's TMNT Turtles is now too large to contain just one ongoing series, says TMNT editor Bobby Curnow. With TMNT Universe, we'll be able to fully explore all of the exciting characters and plots that the world of the Turtles has to offer. This series will also be the perfect venue for some of the best creators in the industry to tell TMNT stories in their own unique voice. TMNT Universe will explore tales along the entire continuity of the current ongoing TMNT series, which recently hit 56 issues and counting. This will mark the first time 2 ongoing Turtles comics will run in tandem since IDW got involved with the property. Look out for TMNT Universe this August at your local comic shops. So yeah, in August, we're going to be doing double duty on TMNT. Oh, boy. But yeah, no, it's going to be interesting seeing. What I'm going to be interested to see on that is, on TMNT Universe, is Paul Allor going to be the only writer? Because it does say that the talent will change, but I wonder how long like the story arcs will be as far as all that goes.
I imagine it'll kind of jump around as they mess with different characters, and I'm cool with that. I don't mind.
Yeah, because not all of the original micro series had the same writers. It was all different writers from micro series. So I figure, hey, if it's TMNT Universe, anybody can come play, whether it's writers or artists.
Bodacious! Whoa! Ostentation! Hey, spacious! Hey, dudes! Cowabunga says it all! Cowabunga! Oh, yeah! We're home! Huh?
Were you seen?
Of course not, Master Splinter. We practice ninja. The art of invisibility.
Practice harder.
Oh.
10 flips now. And remember, go ninja, go ninja, go! I made another funny.
What do you got going on? You got any garage sales going on lately?
Yes, we have a Geek Stuff garage sale happening. Third weekend of June, first Saturday, third Saturday. I can't talk. But either way, look us up on the Facebook page, Geek Stuff Garage Sale, and there will be up-to-the-minute information there loaded frequently. If you're in the West Michigan area, it'd be worth a drive, and when you do come into town for the Geek Sale, I will also have a flyer that'll get you to every nerd store in Grand Rapids and the greater Grand Rapids area, and that's quite a bit. I mean, it'll take you more than a day to get through all of them, so we're blessed here with all the nerd stores.
That's right. All I can think of when I asked you about garage, all I can think of is Animaniacs. I'll give you 26 cents for that garage. My garage is not for sale. It costs $20,000. All right, folks, join us next time here inside the Pull Bag. I mentioned at the beginning of the show that it's probably going to be Batman Beyond or Lumberjanes or something, so who knows. But we got a bunch of stuff coming up, and make your great escape into comics. We will catch you next time. Woo woo.
You've just heard the latest episode of The Pull Bag, the GCRN's comic review and discussion podcast. There are several ways to get in touch with us and leave feedback for the show. You can visit the website, geekcastradio.com, where you can comment on the episode and all of our different podcasts. You can rate our show on iTunes. Be sure to leave us feedback. Call the voicemail line, 502-526-5821. Please remember to tell us the show you were leaving the message for and your name. Become a fan of us on Facebook by searching Geekcast Radio Network. Send us an email feedback at geekcastradio.com. Follow us on Twitter at geekcastradio. So until next time, make your great escape into comics and unleash the geek in you.